Topic number 5. Modern sources of law. Introduction. Law is a dynamic and evolving system that governs societies, ensuring justice, order, and stability. Modern legal systems derive authority from various sources that shape and refine legal principles. These sources include legislation, judicial decisions, customs, jurisprudence, and equity, each playing a vital role in the development and interpretation of laws. Legislation provides the foundation for statutory rules, while judicial decisions establish precedents that guide future cases. Custom reflects long-standing societal practices, jurisprudence offers scholarly insights, and equity ensures fairness where rigid legal rules may fall short. Together, these sources create a comprehensive legal framework that adapts to the changing needs of society. 1. Legislation. Legislation refers to laws that are formally enacted by governing bodies such as parliaments, congresses, and municipal councils. It is the most direct and authoritative source of law, establishing legal rules that individuals and institutions must follow. Legislation can be divided into statutes and delegated legislation. 1.1 Statutes. Statutes are written laws passed by legislative bodies at different levels of government. They provide the foundation for legal systems and define the rights and responsibilities of individuals, businesses, and government entities. 1.1.1 Federal Statutes. Federal statutes are laws enacted by the national legislature of a country, such as the U.S. Congress or the Parliament of Pakistan. These laws apply to the entire nation and take precedence over state or local laws when conflicts arise. Federal statutes cover a wide range of subjects, including criminal law, taxation, national security, and civil rights. 1.1.2 State statutes. State statutes are laws passed by state legislatures and apply only within the respective states' boundaries. In federal systems like the United States, Canada, and India, states have their own constitutions and legal frameworks, allowing them to regulate issues such as education, transportation, and public health. 1.1.3 Local ordinances. Local ordinances are laws enacted by municipal or local government authorities, such as city councils. These laws regulate everyday matters such as traffic rules, zoning laws, building permits, and sanitation. While local ordinances must comply with state and federal laws, they provide essential governance at the community level. 1.2 Delegated legislation. Delegated legislation refers to laws made by authorities other than the legislature, under powers granted by a statute. This process allows for more flexible and efficient governance. 1.2.1 Administrative regulations. Administrative regulations are rules created by government agencies to implement and enforce statutes. For example, the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, in the U.S. issues regulations on pollution control, and the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, regulates financial markets. These regulations carry legal force and affect businesses and individuals directly. 1.2.2 Executive orders. Executive orders are directives issued by heads of state, such as the President of the United States or the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. These orders allow the executive branch to manage government operations and implement policies without requiring new legislation from the legislature. Executive orders can cover a broad range of issues, including national emergencies, foreign policy, and administrative reforms. 2. Judicial decisions. Judicial decisions, also known as case law, are an essential source of modern law. Courts interpret and apply laws to specific cases, creating precedents that influence future decisions. Judicial decisions provide clarity where statutes are silent or ambiguous. 2.1 Precedents. A precedent is a past judicial decision that serves as a guide for future cases with similar facts. The doctrine of stare decisis, Latin for to stand by decided cases, ensures consistency in legal rulings. Precedents are divided into two types: binding precedents and persuasive precedents. 2.1.1 Binding precedents. Binding precedents are legal decisions that lower courts must follow. These decisions come from higher courts, such as the Supreme Court, and must be applied in similar cases. For example, in common law systems like the UK and the US, lower courts must follow the rulings of superior courts. Binding precedents ensure legal stability, uniformity, and predictability. However, they can sometimes lead to rigid decisions, making it difficult to adapt the law to new circumstances. 2.1.2 Persuasive precedents. Persuasive precedents are legal decisions that courts are not obliged to follow but may consider in their rulings. These decisions come from courts of equal or lower status, foreign jurisdictions, or academic writings. For example, Pakistani courts may consider rulings from UK courts when deciding a case, especially if the legal issue is similar. Persuasive precedents allow judges to consider different perspectives, contributing to the evolution of legal principles. 2.2 Court reports. Court reports are published collections of judicial decisions that provide legal references for future cases. They are divided into official reports and unofficial reports. 2.2.1 Official reports. Official reports are government-authorized records of court decisions. These reports ensure accuracy and reliability. For instance, the Supreme Court reports, SCR, in Pakistan and the United States reports, US, in the US. Publish judgments from the highest courts. 2.2.2 Unofficial reports. Unofficial reports are published by private entities and may contain additional commentary or analysis. Examples include All England Law Reports, AELR, in the UK and Pakistan Law Digest, PLD, in Pakistan. These reports help legal practitioners understand case law in depth. 3. Custom as a source of law. Custom is one of the oldest sources of law. It refers to long-standing practices and traditions followed by people, which eventually gain legal recognition. Customs influence modern legal systems by shaping societal behavior and providing a basis for new laws. 3.1 General custom. General customs are widely accepted practices followed by a large group of people or an entire country. These customs often develop over time and become legally enforceable if they are consistently followed and accepted as binding. 3.1.1 International custom. International custom refers to practices followed by multiple nations that are recognized as legally binding in international law. These customs play a major role in shaping international legal principles. Examples of international custom: the law of the sea, which allows countries to claim territorial waters up to 12 nautical miles from their coast. Diplomatic immunity, where ambassadors and diplomats are protected from legal action in foreign countries. Non-aggression principle, where countries respect each other's borders and avoid using force without a valid reason. 3.1.2 National custom. National custom consists of practices followed within a specific country that influence national laws. If a custom is widely followed and does not contradict existing laws, courts may recognize it as legally binding. Examples of national custom in Pakistan: Jirga system, a traditional dispute resolution method in tribal areas. While not officially part of Pakistan's legal system, it is still recognized in some cases. Islamic dress code. Although there is no strict dress code law in Pakistan, traditional customs influence legal interpretations in some cases. 3.2 Local custom. Local customs are practices followed by smaller groups, such as specific regions, communities, or professions. These customs hold legal importance when they are consistently followed over time. 3.2.1 Territorial Custom. Territorial customs are practices specific to a region or city. Courts may recognize these customs if they do not contradict national law. Example of territorial custom. In some parts of Sindh and Balochistan, land inheritance customs differ from national laws. Courts consider these customs when deciding property disputes. 3.2.2 Occupational Custom. Occupational customs are traditions followed within a specific profession or industry. These customs influence labor laws, contract laws, and trade regulations. Example of occupational custom. In Pakistan's textile industry, it is a common practice for factories to pay wages in cash rather than through bank transfers. While laws promote digital payments, courts recognize this occupational custom when handling labor disputes. 4. Jurisprudence. Jurisprudence is the study and philosophy of law. It helps in understanding the reasoning behind legal systems, how laws develop, and how they should be interpreted. Judges, lawyers, and lawmakers use jurisprudence to shape legal principles, guide decision-making, and propose reforms. Jurisprudence is important because it defines the purpose and function of law in society, influences how judges interpret laws, helps lawmakers in drafting legislation, shapes legal education and reforms. Jurisprudence is particularly influential in common law and civil law systems, where courts rely on legal principles and reasoning rather than just written statutes. 4.1 Treatises and Textbooks. Scholarly writings play a significant role in the development of modern legal systems. These writings come in the form of legal treatises, comprehensive books on law, and textbooks that explain legal theories and principles. 4.1.1 Classical Treatises. Classical treatises are foundational texts that have shaped legal thought for centuries. Some of the most influential classical legal treatises include 1. William Blackstone's Commentaries on the Laws of England, 1765 to 1769. This was one of the earliest comprehensive studies of English common law. It influenced the legal systems of the UK, USA, and former British colonies, including Pakistan. Many of its principles remain relevant in constitutional and criminal law today. 2. John Austin's The Province of Jurisprudence Determined, 1832. He introduced legal positivism, arguing that law is based on sovereign commands, not morality. His theories influenced modern constitutional law and legal systems worldwide, including in Pakistan. 4.1.2 Modern Textbooks. Modern textbooks build on classical legal theories and incorporate contemporary legal developments. Some key texts include 1. H. L. A. Hart's The Concept of Law, 1961. A modern extension of legal positivism. Introduced the idea that laws consist of primary rules, obligations, and secondary rules, how laws are created and modified. 2. Ronald Dworkin's Law's Empire, 1986. Criticized legal positivism and argued that law must be interpreted based on morality and justice. This book is a key influence in constitutional law and human rights. Impact on Pakistan. Blackstone's commentaries are used in Pakistan's legal education system. Austin's legal positivism has influenced judicial reasoning in constitutional cases. Islamic jurisprudence textbooks, such as Dr. M.C. Mahmood's Principles of Muhammadan Law, are widely used in courts. 4.2 Law Reviews and Journals. Law reviews and journals publish legal scholarship that helps in interpreting and improving laws. These publications contain scholarly articles and essay collections that shape modern legal debates. 4.2.1 Scholarly articles. Legal scholars and practitioners write research papers and case analyses, which are published in prestigious law journals. These articles examine the latest legal developments, provide detailed analysis of important court decisions, suggest legal reforms based on research and comparative law. Some influential law journals include Harvard Law Review, USA, a leading journal in legal scholarship. Pakistan Law Journal, PLJ, covers Supreme Court decisions and legal interpretations. Journal of Islamic Law and Society focuses on Islamic jurisprudence and its modern applications. 4.2.2 Essay collections. Essay collections bring together different perspectives on legal topics. Some notable works include H.L.A. Hart's Essays in Jurisprudence and Philosophy, a collection of essays on legal philosophy. Pakistani Jurisprudence. Essays on Law and Justice discusses Pakistan's legal system, constitutional law, and human rights. 5. Equity in law. Equity is a fundamental branch of legal principles that aims to supplement strict legal rules with fairness, justice, and moral conscience. It evolved as a response to the rigidity and inadequacies of common law, providing remedies where legal statutes failed to deliver justice. Rooted in ethical considerations, equity ensures that legal outcomes align with principles of fairness rather than strict legal technicalities. 5.1 Principles of Equity. Equity is guided by certain well-established principles designed to prevent injustice. These principles are based on fairness, conscience, and moral justice rather than merely adhering to rigid legal codes. 5.1.1 Fairness and Justice. The core objective of equity is to uphold fairness and justice, ensuring that individuals are treated equitably in legal disputes. This principle allows courts to intervene where strict application of legal rules would lead to unjust outcomes. For example, if a contract is entered into under fraud, misrepresentation, or undue influence, equity allows the affected party to seek relief rather than being bound by the rigid rules of contract law. Courts of equity evaluate cases on their individual merits, emphasizing substance over form, meaning that the focus is on achieving a just outcome rather than strictly adhering to procedural formalities. This principle was famously established in Earl of Oxford's case, 1615, where Lord Ellesmere ruled that when common law and equity conflict, equity shall prevail to achieve justice. 5.1.2 Good Conscience. Equity operates on the principle of good conscience, meaning that legal decisions must align with ethical reasoning and moral integrity. Courts of equity do not enforce rights obtained through fraud, deception, or unfair means, even if legally permissible under strict law. For instance, in cases of unconscionable contracts, where one party exploits the vulnerabilities of another, such as lack of education, financial distress, or undue influence, equity may set aside the contract or alter its terms to ensure fairness. A landmark case reflecting this principle is Dancy Builders Ltd v. Rees, 1966, where the court refused to enforce an agreement made under economic duress, ruling that enforcing such a contract would be against good conscience. 5.2 Equitable Remedies. One of the most significant contributions of equity to the legal system is its provision of flexible remedies that go beyond mere monetary compensation. These remedies ensure that justice is served in cases where damages alone are insufficient. The main types of equitable remedies include 5.2.1 Injunctions. An injunction is a court order that either prohibits a party from doing something, prohibitory injunction, or compels them to act in a certain way, mandatory injunction. This remedy is used to prevent irreparable harm that cannot be adequately compensated by monetary damages. Types of injunctions. 1. Interim injunctions, temporary orders issued before a full trial to maintain the status quo. 2. Permanent injunctions, final orders issued after a trial, binding the parties indefinitely. 3. Mandatory injunctions, compels a party to perform a specific act. 4. Prohibitory injunctions, prevents a party from engaging in a specific action. Example case, American Cyanamide Co. v. Ethicon Ltd., 1975, the House of Lords laid down principles for granting interim injunctions, stating that courts must balance the likelihood of success, potential harm, and public interest before issuing such relief. In business disputes, injunctions are frequently used to prevent breach of confidentiality agreements, trademark infringements, and unauthorized disclosures of trade secrets. 5.2.2 Specific performance. Specific performance is an equitable remedy compelling a party to fulfill their contractual obligations rather than paying damages for breach of contract. This remedy is particularly useful when monetary compensation is inadequate, such as in cases involving unique goods, real estate, or rare assets. Conditions for specific performance. The contract must be valid and enforceable. Damages must be insufficient to compensate the non-breaching party. The performance must not require constant supervision by the court. The order must not impose hardship or unfairness on the defendant. Example case, Biswick v. Biswick, 1968, the House of Lords granted specific performance when a nephew refused to pay an annuity to his deceased uncle's widow as per their agreement. Since monetary damages were insufficient, the court compelled the nephew to fulfill his contractual promise. Specific performance is commonly granted in real estate contracts where no two properties are identical, making monetary compensation inadequate. However, it is rarely granted in personal service contracts, as forcing someone to work against their will would violate personal freedom. Conclusion. The modern sources of law, legislation, judicial decisions, custom, jurisprudence, and equity form the foundation of legal systems worldwide. Legislation provides a structured framework, judicial decisions ensure consistency through precedents, and customs integrate societal practices into legal norms. Jurisprudence offers intellectual depth, shaping the evolution of legal thought, while equity ensures justice where strict legal rules fall short. Together, these sources create a balanced and adaptive legal system that addresses contemporary challenges while upholding fundamental principles of justice and governance. Understanding these sources is essential for legal professionals, lawmakers, and scholars in interpreting and applying the law effectively.